by Caitlin M.S. Boxbaum. Characters: Dr. Sylvia Rossi, Brooklyn Museum Conservator, played by
Sarah Taylor.
Dr. Arthur Junkers, Head of Hospital Radiology Department, played by
Sean Eby.
Dr. Henry Hassman, Medical Director, played by
Jacob Mayforth.
Technician and Stage Directions, played by Janet Stoneberg. Setting: New York, 1972. Scene 1. Dr. Arthur Junkers, head radiologist of hospital, is seated at a desk. Sylvia Rossi walks in and sits opposite her.
You are Miss Sylvia Rossi?
Dr. Rossi.
Doctor.
I hold a doctorate in art conservation. I'm the head objects conservator at the Brooklyn Museum.
What can I do for you?
Dr. Junkers, I understand this hospital is the first in New York to have computed tomography imaging.
That's true. One of the few to have a CT scanner in the entire country. However, if you're here to advocate for a patient, you'll need to consult with the attending physician. That's the proper channel.
There is no attending physician on this case.
There must be. What medical unit is the patient in?
The patient hasn't been admitted. He's dead.
What?
He's a mummy.
Jesus Christ.
Please, no profanity. He's in a storage room at the museum where he's been sitting since 1950, languishing over 20 years.
What in the world does that have to do with this hospital?
Bear with me here. What science knows about mummies comes through x-rays.
And?
If we could use your CT scanner, we could get 10 times, maybe 100 times more detailed data without having to unwrap or disturb him.
A mummy.
Yes, a mummy.
We're actually talking about a mummy. I don't see how this could possibly be in the interest of this hospital, Miss Rossi.
Dr. Rossi, the museum fully understands what it is asking of this hospital, and we appreciate your considering this highly unusual request.
It's not only unusual, it's impractical and I'm afraid impossible.
Why impossible?
We are in the business of caring for patients, not anthropological artifacts.
A mummy is not an artifact.
Patient access to our single CT scanner is critical. The idea that we would tie it up and dedicate the manpower required to construct the images for a dead mummy is...
Dead mummies are only kind of mummies.
Don't get smart with that.
Scan a patient and you can learn about diseases.
I don't need you to tell me about the clinical benefits of diagnostic imaging.
But scan a mummy and you can extract all kinds of postmortem insights, paleopathology, anthropology, degenerative disease markers. It's the gold standard for non-invasive diagnostic evaluation. No hospital in the country is doing work like this.
Ask yourself, why? And how would we even begin to determine the radiation dosage on a mummy? This is a developing field. We could compromise the mummy irreversibly.
He can't get any deader.
Not the point.
I accept the risks of the mummy.
The associated costs alone would open us up to scrutiny with donors.
The museum is prepared to pay with grant funding.
You have an answer for everything, don't you?
I accept the financial responsibilities, the risk, the scrutiny, all of it. And I'll do you one better. The only thing I won't accept is the credit when this experiment produces real scientific results. I'm happy to let the hospital take the credit for that.
The answer is still no.
He looks at his watch and rises to signal the meeting is over.
But
You've wasted your time.
He sits as she slowly rises and walks toward the imaginary door. Her eye catches sight of something.
are you Jewish?
Excuse me?
I see a mezuzah on the doorpost.
And I see a cross on the chain around your neck.
A mezuzah contains Hebrew verses from the Torah, right?
And how do you know that?
I grew up in Flatbush, one of the few Roman Catholics in a Jewish neighborhood. There was a mezuzah on just about every door. I spent many Seders at my friend Sherry Miller's house. Do you know what gefilte fish is?
What?
My mother almost fainted when I asked her if we could have a side of gefilte fish with our Easter ham one year.
I can't blame her for that. I myself look at gefilte fish and think, hasn't God punished our people enough?
She tentatively returns to her seat as if trying not to be noticed doing so.
May I just say one more thing? About mummies, that is. Museums like mine value their coffins and the masks, not so much the bodies themselves. Museums see most mummies as relics, not as beings. But they're human, not objects. There has to be a holy presence. It goes against divine law to dispose what's been dedicated to God. Don't you think so?
How did you get into this field?
Let's see. I must have been 5 or 6 at the time when my parents took me to the Brooklyn Museum. It was overwhelming for a little girl, between the guard shushing me and the formality and vastness of it all. I didn't have the words at the time to articulate it. I just knew I felt lost.
It's not especially welcoming to children.
No, certainly not. But then my mother said, "Look at this." And she pointing at a painting by El Greco. It was the Virgin Mary and the infant Jesus. You know El Greco. He is the very exaggerated style, kind of cartoonish. Kids love cartoons. At the same time, the biblical images were also comforting and familiar. I suppose that started my interest in religious art and artifacts.
And a desire to preserve sacred things.
Exactly.
Does your mummy have a name?
He's called Anonymous Man.
That's unfortunate. Everyone deserves a name.
They do, Doctor, don't they? And I'm afraid it won't matter. He may not be with us much longer.
And why is that? Where would a mummy be off to?
The incinerator.
The museum would just dispose of it like that?
Just like that. Destroyed.
Destroyed? No!
It is shocking to think about. The truth is that mummies have had a long, sad history in Western culture. In the Victorian era, mummies were exhumed and robbed of their jewels, even ground up for paint. Imagine admiring a beautiful painting and learning the pigment was created from pulverized mummy parts. I know this to be true. We have such a painting in our permanent collection. Of course, we've evolved as a society, but disposing of a mummy in the incinerator, that's not just objectionable, it's sacrilege.
Why would the museum want to dispose of a mummy in the first place?
There's a pecking order, even in the afterlife. At the top of the pyramid,
No pun intended.
no pun intended, you've got the pharaohs. Anonymous Man was likely a scribe or a priest, judging by his burial ritual. Someone with an undistinguished pedigree. He may have been from a noble class, but not a ruling class. In the hierarchy of human remains, my administration doesn't consider these particularly museum-worthy. I am a scientist, but I'm also a woman of faith. And I can't help but think how miraculous it is that an individual lived in ancient Egypt, in my wildest dreams, even under Alexander the Great or Cleopatra. And now he's here with me in Brooklyn, under President Nixon.
There's an obvious solution. Why not transfer him to another museum?
An institution with a distinguished Egyptian collection wouldn't accept him. And a museum that would accept him, what might be considered, shall we say, a lesser mummy, wouldn't have the conditions suitable to maintain it. The only hope of saving him is if I can demonstrate he presents some outstanding scientific research.
You're telling me that your mummy will be reduced to ashes if...
you refuse this request. That's exactly what I'm saying. Jews don't believe in creation, in cremation, do they?
You're good. And a hell of a patient advocate. I admire how you want to rewrite this fellow's history.
Admire and consent?
I cannot imagine what the paperwork is going to read like. Date of birth, 1972 BC.
Lights out. Scene 2, imaging lab. Rossi and Jumper stand beside the mummy, which rests on the table in preparation for its first CT scan.
When the technician is done with his final pre-scan checks, he'll let us know and we'll step outside. It's a safety precaution to prevent radiation exposure.
I understand.
And you, young man, no squirming.
Rossi takes a seat beside Mummy.
This is a big moment. I'd like to think we can still make sacrifices from beyond the grave. And I hope you will forgive me for making them on your behalf. Some form of, but we share that fundamental belief, right? Some form of eternal life. You were buried with rituals to carry you into the afterlife, so you must have believed that. You must have had some hope you could defeat death. And now here we are together on this pinpoint of a speck of an atom of time, just maybe on the brink of unlocking a tiny scientific mystery or two. How miraculous is that?
Okay, we're ready. Doctors, if you will leave the...
Stop what you're doing right now!
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm the medical director of this hospital. Shut down the console immediately!
Hassman storms into the imaging room.
Have you lost your mind, Junkers? A fucking mummy!
Hassman rushes the mummy in a fury. Rossi blocks him.
Don't touch him!
Hassman inadvertently knocks into her, drops her briefcase. Papers spill out. Chaos.
Calm down, Dr. Hassman.
I'm looking at a corpse, held together with rags, and you're telling me to calm down. Remove it immediately.
This is legitimate medical research.
Leave. Immediately. Who are you, anyway?
I'm the chief objects conservator at the Brooklyn Museum.
And how did you happen to mistake this hospital for a museum?
I'll explain.
Dr. Junkers, please let me. We're scanning this mummy to determine...
We are not scanning anything that doesn't have a pulse.
If you're concerned about liability...
What? No, of course not. I'm concerned with the reputational risk to this institution.
In what way?
I don't answer to you, ma'am. And that I even have to explain this to you is astonishing.
We could have already been done if you hadn't interrupted. Now we're tying it up.
This whole thing is ludicrous. It's sensational.
Sensational? What is sensational about scientific research?
The press would have a field day. What the public knows about mummies comes from the movies. This is a hospital, not a horror film set. We're not in the business of treating mummies, or vampires, or wolfmen.
Please, you're a man of science. Do not insult us by speaking of mummies in the same breath as vampires and wolfmen.
You're being naive.
And you're being short-sighted. This isn't a press risk, it's a press opportunity.
A press opportunity for you. Don't use this hospital to advance your career.
You don't know anything about me. Your statement couldn't be further from the truth. Who has the authority here?
I do. Take your fossil and leave.
Our transport is in the lobby. He can't just rise from the dead and walk out.
I think that's exactly what you want. For him to rise from the dead.
That's the first accurate thing you've said.
What are you talking about?
I do want him to rise from the dead. Not literally, of course, but I know he could have a second life that could be the cornerstone of scientific research.
Call your attendant and remove the mummy as expeditiously and discreetly as possible.
Hassman, in frustration and in effort to hurry things along, bends down and aggressively starts picking up the papers that have fallen from Rossi's briefcase. He stands up and shoves his handful of papers to Rossi. One piece falls to the floor. It is a check. Rossi picks it up.
Maybe this will change your mind. It's a check payable to the Downstate Medical Center from the museum for $25,000.
Which can obviously be used to fund scans for many patients with pulses.
Hassman looks from Junkers to Rossi and to the mummy. Hassman walks over to the mummy. Rossi and Junkers are tense, unsure what Haskell will do. Haskell quickly spins around to Rossi and grabs the check from her hand.
Get this over with.
Lights out. Scene 3, Mummy Conservation Lab. Rossi circles the mummy, making notes on a clipboard. Junkers quietly enters. Rossi jumps at his presence at the same time Junkers sees the mummy and lets out a muted gasp.
Dear Lord, Dr. Junkers.
When you invited me to your office, I didn't expect this.
It's rare to have anyone at the lab, at least anyone alive, but you deserve to be here. After all these years, my buddy will finally be moving from the storeroom out to the mummy chamber in the exhibit hall.
How is his condition?
Stabilized. I don't detect any structural weakness or areas of deterioration.
He's been holding it together for 2,000 years.
She. That's one of our findings. The anonymous man is a woman. And we expect she's good for a few thousand more years. We also discovered aortic wall calcification, so we now know that atherosclerosis was present in ancient cultures.
Clogged arteries and mummies? That's something I would have thought was a relatively modern condition. Fatty diets and all.
Well, the real reason I invited you here is that I wanted you to be the first member of the public to hear the text for our display.
I'm honored.
First mummy to undergo computed tomography, 1972. Advanced CT scanning revealed profound insights into biological anomalies in ancient civilizations and extinct species. These insights enrich our understanding of the past and inspire new avenues of research.
That right there is the essence of eternity.
I'm proud of you.
You are finally ready for your close-up, anonymous woman.
I'd say anonymity no longer suits her, don't you agree?
It never did.
Let me reintroduce you to Dr. Junkers. Meet Anput. Anput meaning goddess of the afterlife, formerly known as Anonymous Man.
End of play.